So, Greg, I took your challenge and I'm throwing down the goblet. My trilogy is the Evil Dead trilogy.
Oh, that's quite impressive, Noah. But little did you know that I picked the first three movies of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
So, only the first one is good.
No, What? How dare you even say such a thing?
I dared it.
The Evil Dead movies are a meme.
They're also fantastic.
Alright, well, let's get ready to fight, I guess.
Get ready to lose.
In front of the kids, I suppose. I'll let you go first with your stupid heretical movie.
The Evil Dead trilogy is some of the most interesting movies ever made. Each of them low budget for their time, all three of them tackling different genres in a sense. The first one is a straight horror movie that's surprisingly amazingly executed for someone's first film, and has some legitimately grotesque moments. There's a moment in the first film when someone gets stabbed with a pencil in the ankle, and that scene still makes me feel squeamish. Not all the effects hold up well, but at the time it was labeled a video nasty and a rated X film in the UK just because of the pure graphic content of it. Evil Dead 2 is a masterclass in horror and comedy, with Bruce Campbell really coming to his own as an actor. There's a lot of good comedy bits, along with a lot of good horror. The ending scene where trees come to life and start breaking their way into the cabin is genuinely terrifying. And you can counter that with the scene where he's fighting his hand that he just cut off, which is both hilarious and messes with you mentally. The third one in the trilogy, Army of Darkness, is fantastic. It decided to just throw horror to the wayside and just do something completely out there, and it pays off wonderfully.
Rattle me bones.
I'm gonna let you go from there.
Yeah, the Evil Dead series is kind of fun. I was never truly scared by it, but it's a very fun franchise, I would say. Not really one that I would hold in any high regard, except for the third movie, because I did actually really like the comedic take. When it just shifted the paradigm to focus more on screwball, like just outlandishness, was very appreciated in every aspect, I would say. It definitely improved the story, the movie, just the general plot. But of course brought several fine adult memes to the table that would last for countless generations. Now, onto my films, the superior trilogy, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. 4 and 5 don't exist.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't exist.
I'm looking on Rotten Tomatoes. They exist right now.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes is a myth as well. So Pirates of the Caribbean is the smartest kids movie I've ever seen, and arguably it's not even a fucking kids movie, because it, too, has some attempted horror elements that make you feel a little squeamish. I wouldn't say it scares people, but it definitely scares children. Like, the CGI that holds up to even modern-day standards, making, for example, Davy Jones looks like an actual squid person walking around, and lighting very much reflects on his skin in every form of the matter. You can see him in the dark, in the light, and the CGI just really modifies itself to the scenario. And not only that, but the sets on every Pirates of the Caribbean film are very real. The ships are real. They are awesome. You can see them. They're full-sized ships that you can walk on. I don't know if they're still together today, but like the film of them from behind the scenes is absolutely amazing. Just the production value that went into making them is incredible, in my opinion, and it really pays off in the films. And not only that, but the story for 1, 2, and 3 is so masterfully handled, in my opinion, when you debate on whether or not Jack is a genius or an idiot, and then it all just wraps together at the end. It's just very nice. I'll admit it has a bit of like an Ocean's 11 feel to it, where they just kind of like justify some things just right at the end of the movie. But I mean, still, I'm having a great time. All right, and that's my overview for Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
Okay. I guess, do we get a rebuttal?
Would you like to do one?
Yeah, I got some points. So your studio can throw around its money. Big whoop. Sam Raimi spent every single dollar he had filming the first one. Literally bought and trashed a cabin. That was a real cabin, by the way. And destroyed his own car with no replacement to get that film made. Stephen King said it was one of the best horror movies ever made. And helped him get the sequel funded with his own money. And from studio backing, because Stephen King had that much weight back then.
So what? He's financially irresponsible. I simply do not care, Noah.
That is love for your craft. That is not financial responsibility.
I would never blow up my own car for a movie that might not even like be successful. That's so bad. Well, I'll admit that's some dedication there, but holy shit. If that like flopped, he's now a homeless person without a car.
Also, as much as you would like to act like the last two movies of your fake trilogy don't exist, they do, and they do bog down the rest of them.
You blatant
Meanwhile,
fool.
Evil Dead has no bad movies in its catalog. Even the remake is good.
That being said, the story that was taken place in the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies wrapped up by 3, with a new story starting at 4. So arguably, the trilogies are very distinct from one another.
Also, you claim that 2 and 3 are great, but I've never quoted Rotten Tomatoes before on this show, but both of them have scores lower than 60.
Oh, please. Pirates of the Caribbean 2 is a masterpiece of plotline development. Every single person in that movie has a clear goal, clear way of getting to that goal, and a clear end to the story. People might not expect the end that much because they expect, everything to work out in the end, but it doesn't. Pirates 2 is the Empire Strikes Back of Pirates of the Caribbean, and even then, Pirates 3 is way better than Return of the Jedi.
I'm gonna post this on the Star Wars subreddit now.
Go for
that
it.
Clip.
I'll fight every single one of those smelly nerds.
Evil Dead, all 3 of the trilogy have a score higher than 70, with the first 2 being in the 90s.
You're actually taking Rotten Tomatoes scores? Like, you're serious about this?
Listen, I came to fight.
You serious about this? The movie that upholds garbage? Like,
hey,
the literal
I'm not saying
website?
It's perfect.
The Rotten Tomatoes stink even when they are prime. Are you kidding me?
Fair point, fair point. It has uplifted some bad movies.
Name an aspect about Pirates of the Caribbean that's lacking.
Johnny Depp becomes a character of himself after, I would say, the second one.
Fool. That's it? That's all you could say? Johnny Depp is an amazing actor.
I haven't seen these movies in the last 10 years, so I'm kind of going off some memory here. This was one flaw of not telling each other what we were going to watch.
I'm also trying to piece together Evil Dead.
Hey, that's a good point. I haven't watched any of these movies in 10 years. I don't own any of them.
Well, that's your own f***ing loss.
I think I might own the first one, but after that, I don't need to see the rest. No one actually cares about Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley's character. They're boring and they're stupid.
They are excellent plot devices. And their own characters.
I did not care about them, looking back.
Will is a perfect lancer for fucking Jack, and Elizabeth isn't just your typical run-of-the-mill love interest. She's actually a pretty dynamic character that goes through a lot of development over the 3 movies, eventually becoming a great leader in the 3rd.
Unlike Bruce Campbell, which may be the only carryover from all 3 movies, but you see him progress as a character. He does not start off as the smarmy, one-liner, shotgun-wielding badass. You see him slowly become that after all of his friends are slaughtered in the first movie. And in the second film, he has his confidence to actually fight the evil that's out there.
Now, I know this is just a bit of a, I wouldn't say a disadvantage of Evil Dead, but Despite that, I can't remember many characters besides Ash from Evil Dead. But you, on the other hand, can very much so remember Will, Elizabeth, Jack, Captain Barbossa, and all the other characters.
I did not remember their names.
You remembered who played them.
I had to look it up.
Damn you, stop. How could you forget? What kind of a person are you? You're sick. You're sick if you don't like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
I think the first one is a perfectly good film. I have no desire to rewatch any of the others.
Really? What circumstances did you watch them under?
I'm pretty sure we went to go see them in the theaters back in the day.
Damn.
But after the first one, they all seemed kind of a little... I don't know. They're just not as good. And apparently a lot of people agree with that sentiment.
Well, a lot of people are wrong, Noah. And actually think that, you know, that they can shovel shit down their throat and be like, this is delicious. But no. Every single movie in the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, the first trilogy that is, not the one where Disney was like, yeah, we're just gonna blatantly ignore Johnny Depp's cries for help. But every single movie has perfect build-up, a perfect climax, and a perfect ending. And even then, in the second movie, it was a great twist, because nobody expected the climax from Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest, where Jack Sparrow literally dies. Are you kidding me? And in the end result of the movie, one of the villains gets the MacGuffin of the movie that everyone was after, that's going to control the literal fate of the world.
Here's what I remember about 2 and 3. The wheel scene and I Have a Jar of Dirt, and that's pretty much it.
The wheel scene? Are you talking about Captain Barbossa steering the ship in 3?
No, the scene where it's like a hamster ball.
Oh, yeah,
like a hamster wheel, and they're sword fighting on it.
Oh, that's just great. The sword fights in the movies are also fantastic. Well choreographed.
And unlike Pirates of the Caribbean, Army of Darkness has not scorned their fan base and made them run for the hills. We actually wanted more of the TV shows that Starz made. We wanted more movies.
Unfortunately for you,
unlike Pirates of the Caribbean, which killed its fan base
is incredibly small and niche, and nobody cares about them. Me, on the other hand, I have an army of 12-year-olds.
Yes, but our fan base has a great cult following, enough to where they sell out midnight showings.
Fool. Bureaucratic fool. No, blatant lie. That is wrong.
Unlike the Pirates of the Caribbean films, the Evil Dead franchise will continue to live on in film legacy, not only as a perfect structure on how to make a perfect horror film for low budget, but also because it's inspired people and made people want to make movies. As to where Pirates of the Caribbean will probably be forgotten in 10 years.
Nobody will ever forget the ending to Pirates 3 where they have a battle in a whirlpool.
No one talks about the ending of Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Are you kidding me?
No, I am on... Listen, I'm a film nerd. I majored in film. I go on message boards. No one talks about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Where do you hang out? Kick?
No, I do not. But they're just not... They're not popular movies like that. Yes, they are beloved by a general audience. At least the first one is.
A very large general audience.
But the last one didn't do too well.
Yeah, the last one being the fifth movie.
And you know what? It killed its fan base.
You can't just say that because the Lord of the Rings trilogy is still beloved by countless people despite The Hobbit existing. So you cannot say that it kills off a fan base. You can just say that it just makes people not want to see any more of them, but they still
people still talk about the Lord of the Rings trilogy. No one talks about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hold on, I'm gonna do.
Do you know how many Lord of the Rings memes I see constantly, and how many Evil Dead memes I see every October?
Real quick.
I rarely see Pirates of the Caribbean memes ever, and if it is, it's I Have a Jar of Dirt.
Here we go. There are several people on YouTube who have very large subscriber bases who have made videos as early as 6 days ago about the subject. And it has 64,000 views, and it talks about how it's a beautiful writing prompt. Die. Meanwhile, the earliest video I can find of Evil Dead is about the video game 2 months ago. Oh, here's one for 4 days ago. Still the video game.
Evil Dead is still talked about in film classes.
So, we talked
That's
about
how
Pirates of the
important
Caribbean
it
in my
is.
film class.
Oh, we never talked about those ever.
Anyway, I feel that even though Evil Dead has such a cult following behind it, I think Pirates of the Caribbean is still the superior movie franchise.
I do not. I have no desire to go rewatch 2 and 3. I will rewatch the first 3 Evil Dead movies. Granted, I haven't seen them in 10 years.
You haven't watched the Evil Dead movies in 10 years?
No, I haven't watched Pirates of the Caribbean. I watch Evil Dead every October.
See, you can't even remember it, fool. Bureaucratic fool.
I said previously on the record that I have not watched Pirates of the Caribbean in 10 years, and I was referring to them when I brought up the 10 years number again.
How much is Sam Raimi paying you? How much
None.
is he paying you for this interview? Is Bruce Campbell standing behind you right now?
No, but I do have a signed copy of Army of Darkness by him. But I got that several years ago.
Okay, fine. I will one-up you a little bit, or maybe bring on common terms. The cult following of Evil Dead is matched, if not surpassed, for people's love for Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp's popularity solely stemmed from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Not many people...
No, Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, no. Far more people saw the Pirates of the Caribbean movies than Edward Scissorhands, I'll tell you that.
Johnny Depp was already a famous actor. Evil Dead made Bruce Campbell's career and propelled him into stardom.
Yeah, but I can't remember anything Bruce Campbell has done recently.
He doesn't have to. He's pretty much done. If he does do movies, it's for fun.
I know, thanks to your little cult following, nerds.
He did do Ash vs. Evil Dead, and he did Burn Notice, which was a long TV show. Pretty good, also, if I might add.
Did he even voice his cameos in recent
Yeah,
video
usually.
games?
He's still involved with the fan base. People don't see midnight showings of Pirates of the Caribbean. That's just a fact.
Because they just don't happen.
Exactly.
I am sure if someone did it.
And why is that,
people
Greg?
would come.
Why are there no midnight showings of Pirates of the Caribbean? Because there's no market for it.
I don't know, maybe because the fan base of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies aren't as smelly as you nerds?
Ooh, I shower regularly.
You smell.
You're not even in the same room with me.
To anyone watching, comment down below which franchise you find superior, or your just overall comments on both of the franchises, any memories you have, etc. Meanwhile, Noah, what were your other choices for this battle?
Well, originally I was going to pick Lord of the Rings, but when you said I couldn't do that, I instantly went to Evil Dead. Nope, there was
Really?
no other movies I would have thought of.
Because I would have considered literally any string of 3 movies that are connected to one another and can be isolated from either a greater franchise or TV show. You know how they do movies for TV shows. I would have accepted any of that. One of my trilogies that I was debating on was the Iron Man trilogy.
Ooh.
For Marvel.
2's rough, and 3 is pretty sketchy at times.
I thought 3 was
A lot of
pretty
people
great,
don't like
but
the
then
twist
again,
in 3.
But then again, oh yeah, the Mandarin not being
Yeah.
the Mandarin. Yeah, that was very dumb. But I still did like the kind of dramatic struggle that Tony Stark went on throughout the movie. Kind of dealing with PTSD, like a superhero having PTSD. Come on. That's a cool concept that they explored, and that they had the balls to do it in the first place. And then, not only that, I was confident that the first movie was going to well be able to carry the trilogy.
I guess if I picked another trilogy off the top of my head, maybe the Dark Knight trilogy.
Ooh, yeah. That's a strong trilogy. I wouldn't say there's a movie in the Dark Knight trilogy. Well, there is the Dark Knight that really exceeds film expectations. But then again, there isn't a film that in that trilogy that goes under it. There's no bad movie in the trilogy,
A lot of people
but there's only one
say
great
that
movie.
Rises isn't great. I personally think Batman Begins is actually really good.
I do too. Batman Begins is fantastic, and it's really unfortunate that Heath Ledger died because I would have been very interested to see the third movie if he didn't.
That's fair.
Bane, on the other hand, as a character for the third movie, I don't know. I didn't like him that much, especially since he's nothing like his comic.
Yeah, it's such a shame because Tom
counterpart.
Hardy is like such a great actor.
Seeing him in Dark Knight Rises and then Venom is a mind blower. Like you actually trip out, like looking at the side by sides because he doesn't even look like the same.
I
person.
haven't seen Venom, but most of the people who have seen it told me it's not a great movie, but Tom Hardy is really good in it.
So Venom isn't a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. I would say it's on the median. I would say it's like a 52% movie. Just above average. Just a little bit. Tiny bit. Very tiny. CG is pretty bad, but then again, it made up for it.
You know the CGI is bad when Venom and Spider-Man 3 looked better?
That's actually something I was literally just about to say. I was about to say, Noah, I am genuinely surprised that you did not pick the Spider-Man trilogy.
Spider-Man 3 is rough, and for that one, it's not even Sam Raimi's fault. Sony made him put like a bunch of extra stuff in it that he didn't want to.
On the other hand, though, 2 and 1 are extremely powerful films.
That's fair.
If my brother was a part of this conversation, he would have picked the Spider-Man trilogy. He fucking loves them.
Oh, when Greg texted me no Lord of the Rings, I texted him back no Star Wars.
I wasn't going to pick Star Wars.
I probably should have texted
There's
you
way I
no
was
Indiana
gonna pick
Jones. You know, I didn't even think about those movies.
That would have been a far more likely choice.
I didn't even think about those movies when thinking of trilogies.
Would you have picked Indiana
Probably
Jones?
not.
That would have been a pirate's killer, in my opinion. That definitely would have struck that bitch down. I'm kind of loosey-goosey on the Evil Dead thing, though. I don't know.
I think the settler of this debate will be time. We'll look back on this in 50 years, and time will be the judge of this one.
Meanwhile, I'm buying the third steelbook release of Dead Man's Chest.
I have my Blu-rays.
Sipping my 200-year-old Scotch whiskey in my $50 million mansion while Noah pulls up in his Ford Bronco to film the next episode.
Why on earth would I be driving a Ford Bronco? I drive a Land Rover
I don't know.
now. Why would I downgrade?
I was thinking of like, what kind of shitty car could I have Noah drive? And for some reason, the Ford Bronco came to mind. Assuming any of them work in 50 years.
Yeah, time will tell with this debate. I do feel like the important film status of the first two are going to live on for a long time. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Criterion Collection picks it up.
Really?
You know, another film trilogy I probably should have picked was Living Dead trilogy.
Oh, the Living Dead trilogy.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead.
Yeah. I mean, I've never 100% been on board for zombie movies, but that trilogy, at least Living Dead, I did enjoy.
I have all of them, and I would say Dawn might be my favorite.
Oh, that reminds me. The fucking most, one of the more recent franchises, the Planet of the Apes. Did you like those movies?
Never saw them, surprisingly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're good, but they're not for me. Like, I can recognize the fact that they're very good movies, but I myself do not like them.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. My family, on the other hand, fucking worships them. My brother, I'll literally, like, say something like, all right, let's go home, man. And then he goes, Caesar is home. And I'm like, that we're not even talking about that. We haven't talked about those movies in three months, and you're going to quote it?
Yeah, I've never seen them.
Oh, the Mummy trilogy, that
That last one is so bad, though.
It kills it so bad.
Do we want CGI Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Actually, you know what? I didn't mind it. The rest of the movie was good enough to where when I saw CGI Rock Johnson, I didn't really care. But Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, oh my god. Oh my god. I actually like stopped watching the movie, and you know, like what's that one YouTube channel that just posts like 10 clips from the movie?
Oh, I have no clue.
Yeah, I ended up watching the movie in that format in 3-minute clips.
If we ever do this again, I think a really fun scenario would be to pit the Iron Man trilogy versus the Captain America trilogy.
What team would you be on?
Oh, Cap, definitely.
I would be on Cap too.
I think those movies are just fantastic.
They're such a perfect balance of fun and story.
Let's do the Thor trilogy.
I actually really fucking like the Thor movies. I don't know why everyone fucking hates them.
Dark World's weird.
Dark World was cool. Screw you. Screw you people.
Greg loses all credibility after this episode.
It was cool. Leave me alone, dude.
Greg likes Transformers too.
Okay, I don't like the Michael Bay Transformers movies. I just like Transformers.
Why did you go see them all then?
Because I like the Transformers so much that I'm willing to watch the garbage Michael Bay movies just to get content from them. I've even watched the new like animated TV shows that they did.
At least Bumblebee was okay.
Bumblebee was freaking great.
It was good. Unfortunately, they haven't done anything else with it.
I know they're debating on doing a sequel right now, but like Michael Bay is like just gripping the franchise with his stupid little nimble fingers, with his evil crow talons. God, I hate that man. So quick rant on the Transformers franchise, just to wrap this video up. So I actually like the movies to some extent because I just like the Transformers, but 1 and 3 are definitely the only movies that stand out in any quality, shape, or form from the rest of the franchise. And then, from what I understood, 1, 2, 3, 4 all had a consistent, straightforward story that linked together the movies in some sensible way. And then 5, Michael Bay took 5 and threw everything else out the window. There is nothing in Transformers 5 that connects to any of the other movies. Like, here's the stupidity of something. In Transformers 4, it's Galvatron. But in 5, it's back to Megatron. Megatron doesn't de-incarnate. No, he reincarnates. No, that's not how life works. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna be this person now, and then just go, psych, I'm just kidding, dude. Michael Bay.
I'm gonna take your Transformers rant and make it into its own video and upload it.
That.
Anyway,
I'm so mad I actually want to do some work now.
I guess we should call it. We had a pretty intense debate. Some parts got oddly personal that I might cut out, but
oh, come on. I can film some replacement sound bits.
Do your best.
You can even like take a recording of me saying you're stupid and stretch it over like the same time period that I said that.
Just make it bubbles.
It bubbles. No, but then people are gonna say think I'm saying something really bad.
I don't know. I use the bubbles a lot in our Spirited Away review for different things. Anyway,
you're not censoring now, are you?
Yes, I am.
No,
the algorithm demands it.
We're frauds.
Listen, I'm not happy about this either. It means more work for me.
We're hacks. We're frauds. Ugh. Now I'm depressed. I'm going home, Noah.
That's fair. I'm gonna go home too. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow, Greg.
See you tomorrow, Noah.
I'm not coming to your house for the weekend to watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Come on!